Meet me. Welcome back, boys, to another squirrely review. Today, we're going to talk about Pavel. Some people regarded him as kind of like a hidden gem, but at this point, everyone knows he's good, so there's no secret to it anymore. So, as always, if you're lucky enough to have him, let's go into his skills, his builds, a quick showcase, and then a summary. Let's get started. Alright, so his abilities. His S1, nothing special to talk about here, it's a basic one. Has a 75% chance at max Mola to apply blind. That's about it, though. If you're using Pavel properly, you'll almost never be using this ability anyway, and a lot of people don't even Mola it. Now, his S2 is what makes him really special. So, before he attacks, he gives himself increased attack before firing a strong blast of wind at all enemies. Damage dealt increases proportional to his speed, and it cannot be countered. And the real thing here is that the soul burn grants an extra turn. So he will almost always be paired with a mage, but he just opens with this, and it hits hard, and you'll see that in the arena showcase. But he opens with this, gives himself attack buff, and then he transitions right into the S3. S3, it's just a DPS move, but it ignores all damage sharing like Aureus or Troublemaker, anything like that. And the damage also increases proportional to his speed. Now the thing is, you can't really tell from this kit how good he is until you realize how much damage he does. Because top players will have him built at 300 speed, and he can still one-shot squishies with the S2 while having the power to one-shot very tanky units with the S3. But we'll get into that later. Let's move on to the builds. Alright, so how do you build Pavel? Well, it's fairly straightforward. Standard speed DPS unit, you're going to build him the same as pretty much any fast DPS unit like a Kisa. You want as much speed, crit chance, crit damage, and attack as humanly possible with your gear. Mine probably has slightly more offensive stats than is typical, but the speed is much lower. For a lot of Legend players out there, 300 speed Pavels are not unusual. So clearly I'm about 40 speed below that, but I'll say typically they'll be more around like 3,500 attack, 250 crit damage, unless they have extremely obnoxiously good gear. So for beginner players, I would say the hardest thing that's going to be for you to get is speed. So you could try and just get near mine. This shouldn't be too hard. Because as long as you outspeed the defense, who really cares, right? You won't be able to use him as a speed contester against like Cereses or whatever, but in the beginning that's fine. As your gear that gets better, you can start pushing 290 speed. But I would say at least 3,500 attack, 100% crit chance, 250 plus crit damage, and as much speed as you can get. Exclusive equipment, I highly recommend you get the S2 one. Giving that free attack buff to a teammate is huge, particularly if you're using him to set up cleaves. But it's up to you, but most people use the S2 one. As for artifact, the most common ones are Portrait and Symbol of Unity. Both of them are very good. Increases his damage output, lets you one-shot whatever you want in the opener. And that's about it for his build. Just fast and hit hard. That's really all there is to it, so let's get into the PvP showcase. Alright, so let's try Pavel in regular arena. So Pavel is a great setup for cleave teams. With his soul burn, I mean, he can just blast a team right in the opener. The only reason I brought S10A is because my CDOM doesn't have a max book. So with the soul burn, he gets increased attack before he attacks, and he can't be countered, and speed helps his damage too, because the damage dealt increases proportional to speed, so just watch this. Alright, so we get some big damage out, and then what we could do is, what should we kill here? Let's just kill the Rem, because this thing might counter me. And this will definitely kill her. 16,000 damage. Now my weak sauce CDOM, at least she has attack buff, should still be able to kill this maid. Maid is at 100% here though, but whatever. Alright, we do kill it. Now we go with Strazy. Boom. So he's like an initiator that also does a crap ton of damage. Like his initiation is basically he deletes someone. That's how he initiates. So you can see that was a fast match. Let's try another one. This time we're even going to use Closet Charles, level 50. So, we soul burn, get some big damage out. This mate is actually really freaking fast, so I guess we gotta kill it and hope that Rem doesn't counter here. Ooh. And Maid does die. Now we have Closet Charles coming up. Give the rest of the team attack buff. This Rem is kind of scaring me now, though. Okay, Rem is gonna do her thingy. One-shots my level 50 Closet Charles. But now we can take out LR Crow, which is fantastic. LR Crow does explode. Let's see if we could hit this Violet. We do, and Violet gets dumpstered. But now we have to kill this Rem, right? But no problem. Pavel does great against Rem. Chop. Easy peasy. Alright, let's end by playing against a classic. Arbiter Vildred. How does Pavel do against Arbiter Vildred? Well, if you understand his kit by now, you know that he probably does really freaking well. So, let's see it. So how do we deal with Arby's? Blip. Alright, and see you later, Arby. The soul burn means that if it's not an MLDB degen Arby, Pavel just dumpsters all over him. Now we'll have Stray Zigo. Hopefully Rem has more HP than the Violet. Easy peasy. So as you can see, Pavel's pretty damn strong. Let's move on to the summary. Alright, that special moment is here, boys. Mr. Pavel, is he good? Of course he is. He's been a staple in a lot of Legend players' kits, particularly if they have good speed gear or speed DPS gear. And a lot of people were very scared of this hero last season, and for good reasons. Let's just go into each of the categories. Arena offense, I'm going to give him a B+. He works fine on arena offense, but, arena defenses are easy for the most part. You don't really need something like this. There's just so many different ways to cleave if they're not running Politis, and if they are running Politis, you're probably not going to be cleaving it anyway. So at this point, that's all there is to cleave. Politis kind of annoys all of them, but it is what it is. He still works fine. Arena defense, F. You're not going to use him on arena defense. You can't soul burn on arena defense, so obviously no one's ever going to use him there for any good reason. Guild Wars offense, I'm going to give him an A+. He's very good at Guild Wars offense because, again, he deletes someone in the opener. You saw that in Arena. In Guild Wars, it's even more pronounced, and you don't need to bring an attack buff with him because of the way his S2 works. So pretty much, if you can outspeed the defense, you just delete someone right off the bat. And if your guildies gave you notes like, oh, it's a speed RB, and you know the speed, you can double kill an RB too. Like, he's just very strong in Guild Wars offense, and even more so now because Rem is popping up everywhere. Pavel is a very safe way of dealing with Rem and just one-shotting her, because he can't be countered on the S2, and she won't survive the S3. Guild Wars defense, same as Arena defense, straight Garbo. You're not going to be able to use him on a defense that makes sense because he will not soul burn. Maybe one day Smilegate will allow the AI to do that, but probably no time soon, so completely irrelevant on defense. Now, RTA. I think I just got to give him an S. Maybe the meta's changed a little now, but last season I think he definitely deserved S tier. Now, the thing that some people might contest me, not agree with me on this for, is because not that many people had very scary Pavels built. But the thing is, the players that did, it was so common. Like, if they drafted Pavel and you did not deal with it, you were gonna lose. Like, either you had to ban their mage so that he couldn't soul burn into the S3, or a lot of times you just straight up banned the Pavel itself out. Because if you don't have an answer, it only takes one match where Pavel one-shots your entire team for you to learn that this is a threat that you really have to deal with. So I think Pavel is S tier. I mean, I haven't RTA'd much this season, but last season, I would have definitely gave him S tier because if he showed up in a draft, he was a very, very high priority ban for me because typically Pavel users will ban out things like FCC2, and I've seen 300 speed Pavels S2 into S3 and one shot my 27,000 HP Crow. Like, that is scary for something that's that fast. So, anyways, that's my review of Pavel. If you have him, congratulations. He's a fantastic hero, although he is extremely stat hungry. So it's the kind of hero where if you just build him on a whim, he might not seem that good to you when you playtest him. But trust me, once you get really good gear on him, you're going to be shocked at how well he performs. So anyways, thanks for watching. Till next time, boys. Peace out.